Okay. So I don't know why this thing keeps disappearing on me today. All right, here we go. Okay, so I know it sounds like this week we've been doing a lot of work, but the work we've been doing is really, you know, worksheets, and it's not a ton of writing. So we're going to just keep plugging away. So Maddie, can you hear me and can you see my screen? Maddie?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things you have to do is you have to keep an eye on the chat thing, and sometimes it pops up and sometimes it doesn't. But my screen, it turns orange when somebody sends a chat, and so periodically I have to check that. Like Haley wanted to know if she can go to the restroom. So like that's what I did yesterday when I couldn't get a response from you because I saw that, you know, you were trying to connect to the audio. And it wasn't working. I tried to send you a chat so that I could just, you know, touch base with you, and then you didn't respond there. So I wasn't sure what was going on.
Okay.
Okay, here comes Mr. Bird again. I thought I already marked him in here. I did. All right, so we're going to continue working with daily oral language, but before we're going to do a lesson in daily oral language, but we're also going to back up and do one more worksheet with commas. So today you're going to have 2 worksheets. So I want to look at the direct address comma one. So you're going to have to split your screen and open up yours, and I will go and open up mine. Just give me a second. I haven't really done that yet today, and I need to. It's running a little late this morning. All right. Okay, make sure that you open it with Cami. Does anybody remember what we said direct address was the other day when we did that quick little DOL lesson? If not, that's okay, because we're going to review it. Okay, so if we look at the direct, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I just want to move you. Okay, so if we look at this, okay, it says commas and direct address. Direct address is when you use someone's name and directly address them. You directly speak to them. So here's the definition here. A direct address is when the person speaking uses the name or nickname of the person they're speaking to. Example, what time do you go to the game, Felix? So you have a comma and then Felix, right? Someone's directly speaking to Felix using his name. The name in the direct address is always set apart from the rest of the sentence by a comma. So let's just say the name is set apart the rest of the sentence by a comma or commas. If the name is at the end, as in this example, the comma goes before the name. If the name is at the beginning of the sentence, the comma goes after the name. If the name is in the middle of the sentence, the comma goes before and after. So I'm not going to underline all that, but that's kind of important to keep in mind. So using the same sentence, just rearranging the wording. In this one, you have Felix, comma, what time do you want to go to the game? And then the next one, what time, comma, Felix, comma, do you want to go to the game, right? Someone's directly addressing Felix using his name. So what you're going to do here, it says rewrite each sentence below as direct address. Don't rewrite it, cross that out. And all you're going to do is draw a comma where it belongs, or commas, draw the commas. Make sense? Okay, and you have 5 of those to do. And then I didn't even give you the last part. Okay, so I crossed out part 2. So that's one thing you have to do. That should not take you that long. I don't think there's only 5 there. Okay, questions about that? All right, so let's go back. And now on your screen, I'm also going to need you to open up, and I think I pushed it towards the top of the stream anyway, the Daily Oral Language Day 1 through 5. You need to open that up, please. And I will open up my copy. If I can find it. Period 1, here we go. Okay, so we are on day 4. And we're not using commas today. We're using something called apostrophes, not to be confused with a positive, totally different thing. Apostrophes are those like flying commas, the ones that come up. And there's only 2 reasons in the English language to use an apostrophe. Does anybody know one? Anybody? Hello? Nobody knows why you use an apostrophe, a flying. Haley, do you know?
You can kind of like, so you can kind of say isn't, and you like at the comma mix, you can say it like that.
Isn't, right. So isn't is short for is not. And the apostrophe takes place of a letter or a couple of letters that are missing, right? That's why there's an apostrophe. That's good. That's one reason. Those are called contractions, when you take 2 words and you join them together and you use an apostrophe. Okay. Does anybody know the other reason for using an apostrophe? Nobody knows? Really? Okay. What about if I said, the book let me say that is Mrs. Jost's book. Where would I use an apostrophe in that sentence?
You would use it before the joke, like the second S. And
why would I use it? You're right. Why would I use it? I would use it in Mrs. Jost's.
Taking possession.
It's showing possession or ownership. So those are the only 2 reasons that you use an apostrophe. People, adults, everyone makes mistakes with this all the time. I see it all the time out in the world. There used to be a diner by where I live at the Four Corners, and it was called Jean's Diners, and it said Geans apostrophe, and the apostrophe was in the wrong place, because if you put that apostrophe after the S, that means it's more than one Jean. Either that or a pair of jeans owned the diner. I don't know. It was wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at these 3 sentences, and then there's a quick worksheet for you to work with apostrophes, okay? So number 1 says, why isn't Sandra in school today? The first thing we're going to check is, do we have a capital letter? Do we?
Yes.
Okay. Second thing we're going to check is, do we have ending punctuation? Do we?
No.
What do we need?
Question mark.
Question mark. So let's highlight that in the color of your choice and hit the question mark. So now we're working on apostrophes. Is there a reason for, do we need to put an apostrophe in anything in this sentence?
Isn't.
And where is the apostrophe going to go?
After the N.
Between the N and the T. Okay, if you don't know where the apostrophe is, it is the key right next to the enter key. Okay. And we can highlight that to show that we added that apostrophe. Or you could have just clicked the correcting and then put the highlight in. Okay. Everybody good with that? All right, number 2. Michael's backpack is purple. Do we have a capital at the beginning?
Yes.
Do we need any kind of punctuation at the end?
Yes.
What do we need?
Period.
Period. I don't know why that's a question, but yeah, we need a period. Let's highlight that with a yellow. Put a period in. And we're working with apostrophes. So let me see, who can I bother today? Mr. Carl, I saw you there. You turned your camera off. Could you turn your mic on at least? Do you think we need an apostrophe anywhere in this sentence? Carl? Carl? Where did he go? I called on him and he dislocated. Okay, let me call on somebody else. How about Georgia? In sentence number 2, do we need an apostrophe somewhere, huh?
Yes.
Okay, any idea where we would put the apostrophe? Michael's backpack is purple.
You would put it in Michael's name between the L and the S.
Exactly, very good. So let's put everybody put their cursor there. I'm gonna highlight it with that aqua color again, just to keep it uniform. And I'm gonna hit the apostrophe. So that's showing ownership or possession, right? It is Michael's backpack, right? Everybody good with that? Okay, number 3 is a little tricky. But let's get the basic stuff out of the way. Number 3 reads, both cars' batteries were dead. So Skylar, do we need to check for a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence?
Yes.
So we need to change that to a capital,
B.
the B, okay. So let's highlight it in yellow and make it a capital B. Sky, since you got your mic on, what do we need to do to the end of the sentence?
Put a period.
A period or an exclamation mark? I'm going to put an exclamation mark because, oh my goodness, I would not be feeling so great if I had 2 dead batteries. That would be a headache of a day. Okay. All right. Now, we're working with apostrophes. Who's
Can I go?
battery? What?
Can I go?
I don't know who's talking to me. Bella? Yeah, go ahead.
I think we need an apostrophe after the R and before the S in cars.
Okay, you're very close, but you're incorrect.
I know.
Because, who knows?
At the end of cars.
Me.
Okay, at the end of cars. Okay, so what's the reason that we're putting it after the S in cars and not at the not between the R and the S? Anybody know?
I thought like between the batteries.
Not batteries. Whose batteries? It's the car's batteries. But does anybody know why? Because there's a difference, and this is.
I think I do.
Okay, who's talking to me? Alex, go ahead.
It's because, like, you can't use the S for like the ownership of the car because, like, there are a bunch of cars.
Okay, so you're kind of close and you're on the right track. So do you see in number 2, it says Michael's backpack is purple? How many
Yeah.
Michaels are there?
1.
There's 1. It is singular. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
the apostrophe goes between the name and the S.
Yeah.
When
'cause
you
there's
write
2.
both cars' batteries were dead, how many cars are there?
There are 2. So
There are 2. There's more than 1. It is known as it's a plural word. So if it's more than one person or one thing owning something or showing possession, the apostrophe goes after the S to show that it is a plural noun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, Caden Aarons, you just came on. So you're going to have to play catch up in a little bit. All right. So that's our quick little lesson on apostrophes. If we go back to classroom, there is a new assignment along with the direct address comma assignment for apostrophes. Could you open up your copy of that, please, and open it in Cami, and I will open up my copy once I find it. There we go. Okay, somebody's got their mic on making noise. Okay, so first of all, let me just show you. This is not hard. This is not like a lot of writing, but it's 2 pages because I want you to do it in a few different ways. Okay, so just know that there's 2 pages to this, right? The first one, just going over apostrophe use. An apostrophe is used to show possession. Something belongs to someone. The most common way it is used is in the apostrophe plus S combination on the end of a person's name. Example, the cat belongs to Susan And you could say it is Susan's cat, right? So Susan apostrophe S. The dog belongs to Dennis. It is Dennis's dog. Okay, so it's S apostrophe S dog. I have also seen this when a word ends in S where you just put the apostrophe at the end, and that's okay. But for our purposes, we're going to do it this way. Okay, everybody clear on that? So your directions
Yes.
to the first part, read the sentence, finish the second sentence using the possessive apostrophe plus an S. Okay, so here's your example again. The lunch belongs to Bob. It is Bob's lunch. Bob apostrophe S, right? So all you got to do is read the sentences and then just change it to use the possessive of the person. It needs a capital letter at the beginning, your sentences. Needs punctuation at the end. If you put the apostrophe in the wrong spot, it is wrong. I'm taking points off for all of that. I got to train you guys to actually write your sentences correctly. So
And
each
it
of your
already says it is. So
right, each one of these start with it is, except for the last one because there's more than one. They are. Okay. Got it? That's that part. And the next part, it says apostrophe for possessives are not just for proper nouns, but they are also used for other nouns. Read the first sentence. Here's your directions. Read the first sentence. Finish the second sentence using the possessive plus apostrophe S. The milk belongs to the cow. It is, what am I going to write here? You need a text box, right?
The cow's milk.
It is the cow's milk. Oop, period. Got it? Okay. Next one says rewrite each of the following sentences using the possessive form. I didn't really want that text box. Go away. Oh my goodness. There we go. Rewrite each of the following sentences using a possessive form of the noun that is underlined. So the example, we drove to the movies in the car that belongs to my aunt. So my aunt is underlined. So you're going to rewrite the sentence. We drove to the movies in my aunt's car. Capiche? This one you are going to have to do it. So obviously when you're retyping these, you're going to need to use the text box feature, right? Everybody good with that? Okay. And then the next page is telling you that an apostrophe is used to show that letters have been left out of words that have been combined to make a shorter contraction. The apostrophe is usually placed right above the place where the letters have been left out. Cannot equals can't. The apostrophe goes where the second N and the O are missing. So your directions are to write the contraction, shortened form of each phrase, use an apostrophe to show where the letters are missing. Okay, so you've just got pretty simple ones, I think. And then here you're going to do the opposite of that. You're going to write the phrase that the contraction represents. And then we're going to cross this out. You don't have to do this last part. Okay, so it seems like a lot, but it's kind of basically practicing the same thing over and over again. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, so listen to me. We're going to be doing quotation marks tomorrow, okay? Remember that you have the work from yesterday, which was commas in a series, and then you also had 2 vocabulary assignments that you were supposed to do, and you have till tomorrow for that. And now you have these. I know it seems like a lot, but these are, to me, these are quick little worksheets, and they're kind of basic mechanics of writing that we need to go over, okay? So keep up with your work. Anybody have any questions about what we're doing? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the Zoom. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stay in the Zoom. And if you need my help, we're going to be right here. I'm trying to stop my recording. Here we go.